All right, so I don't know if you can tell, but I kind of went on a John Varvatos kick. So we're gonna do all these eventually, but for right now, we're gonna focus on this guy right here, which is Artisan Pure from John Varvatos. I'm gonna go ahead and caveat in the opening that one of the primary issues with John Varvatos fragrances in general is that they tend to not be very long lasting. And that's, I can't deny it's true. I actually owned two, or is it three? I own two other John Varvatos fragrances, both of which I enjoy. One is in John Varvatos XX Indigo. It's a traditional kind of blue fragrance, very nice. I also have Teal, Artisan Teal, which is a marine, lovely fragrance. I love it a lot. I wear it on a regular basis, but it suffers from that issue. They are both EDT formulations, and they both tend to last about 4 to 6 hours, maybe 2 hours of projection. They're not crazy performers, but they're also affordable options. And the bottles are pretty sick. I like the bottles, I hate to admit. I like they're cool, I enjoy them, they're artistic and stylized. This one is Artisan Pure. This is like this in theory is like a citrus kind of deal. Hopefully it'll be very enjoyable. I tend to like citrus openings, but you know, citrus doesn't last very long. This was $30-ish from JomaShop. And again, this is for 125 ml presentation. This is 4.2 ounces and just a cool presentation. Look at that. It's like a cool wicker basket kind of feel. They do this with a lot of their fragrances. I enjoy them. I enjoy them more as like I'm going to the gym, or I know I'm going to go do something in the morning, but I'll take a shower midday, so I don't need a fragrance that's going to last for 12 hours and even last for 4. That's kind of what I use these for, and I tend to enjoy them. They tend to be short lifespan, but when they're alive, they're pretty darn cool. That's kind of how I've always looked at them. So this one is Artisan Pure from John Varvatos. Obviously, we're going to talk about the notes real fast. Top notes of clementine. I don't know why clementine versus other oranges, but they're in there. Lemon, then mandarin orange, and also clementines. And in my opinion, those are like the same thing. But what do I know? I'm just some guy on YouTube. Then we got bergamot, thyme. I like thyme as an herbal note. Then marjoram, and middle notes of petitgrain and ginger. So that makes me think more earthy was kind of going to come up. Then woodsy notes in the base, along with musk, orris root, and amber. So let's see how this goes. The way we do it on this channel is we do a quick spray on paper. We talk about how the paper presents, then we do a spray on the skin. We talk about how the skin presents, and then I wear it a few days or a few times. I come back, I give you a basic rundown of performance, projection, longevity, followed by what those notes actually break down to. And if they even break down to a dry down, or if they're more linear, kind of everything all at once kind of fragrance. So let's go ahead and jump in, spray it, boop, 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 go hard. John Varvatos isn't expensive. You can overspray and no one's gonna be mad at you for wasting money because it's just not that expensive, and the quality is actually pretty decent, typically with John Varvatos. So I can actually already smell it. It smells very, very citrus and very nice, very fresh. This is a very bitter citrus. All right, so I got the little strip down here. It's a bitter, herbal kind of citrus. So on paper, it's not sweet. So this is a more masculine, what I would consider to be a more masculine citrus. Very, very nice. No real complaints there. I'm not getting much else other than the citrus at the moment. Let's do skin, and we'll jump back into if we see some of those other notes kind of pushing through as that citrus combination kind of dries off. Yeah, still got the bitter citrus in there, which is very pleasant, very masculine, very clean. It's that clean, crisp kind of vibe to it. Yeah. The petitgrain starts coming through. It's more of a, I'd say kind of a woody petitgrain, if that makes sense. On skin, it's definitely more sweet. When you spray on skin, the skin has it a little sweeter, but again, I'd say if you were to put it on a scale from like being bitter to sweet, I'd still say it leans more bitter, but it's definitely more sweet on skin than on paper. So the way that translates in real life is it's gonna be more bitter if you spray it on your shirt or your clothing than if you spray it on your neck or your wrist or the back of your neck or whatever. That's gonna be a little more sweet right off the bat. But that being said, typically when you do that, because of the heat, it's gonna make the chemicals that make those notes dissipate more quickly and evaporate more quickly. So those sweet notes go really hard, but then they go away really fast. So that's what I'm getting there. Yeah, and that petitgrain comes out too with it. I'd say honestly, what I would say is the top notes and middle notes are pretty linear. Like you get them all at once. They could almost just say top notes and base notes at this point. Because I'm not getting straight woody notes or a musk yet, so that has not happened. So it's not a completely linear fragrance, but those top two set of notes, so the top notes I mentioned and those middle notes, they're really kind of everything all at once at you. Because the first thing the petitgrain comes out, in my opinion, with the with those opening notes. Once you start losing a little bit of that citrus, the petitgrain comes out, and it's a little more woody. The ginger, I'm not getting a really strong ginger here. Maybe on paper it's there, but not on skin. I'm really not getting all that much ginger, so just keep that in mind. All right, so I'm gonna jump back in and we'll talk about all the notes after I've worn this for a few times, and we'll see how it goes from there. And then we'll talk about that later. So there you go. I'll be back in just a second. All right, so we're back, and I've worn this a few days, and the overall, it's a good fragrance. I'd even say it's a safe blind buy for most men. The one thing I'll point out, I'll remind and say, hey, those citruses in the open, they're pretty bitter. Even on skin, they're a little bitter. They're a little sweeter on skin, but they're still pretty bitter overall. So if you like a bitter, kind of sharp, kind of citrus, this is great for you as far as that opening notes. Now, as far as, we'll go and talk about performance next. Performance, at most, top end, 6 hours. That's in a cool environment without a whole lot of heat or moisture. That's your best case scenario, and probably 2 hours is your best case scenario for projection. That puts this firmly in the category of, hey, I'm going out for a little while. Hey, I'm going to the gym. Hey, I got to work one shift at work at the restaurant or some kind of shift work kind of deal. If you're in a position where you want to smell nice. Doesn't mean it's not worthwhile. It's $30 for a 4.2 ounce bottle, so it's going to last you a while. You can overspray; it's not a big deal. As far as the dry down, how the dry down works out, the ginger starts coming out more and more as time goes on, and the base note, oddly enough, and this at this point it's a skin scent. What I'm about to describe does not really project. You get almost like a sweet resinous honey mixed with musk, and and those wood notes are kind of there as well. So that's what you end up with on the whole. So performance-wise, is it amazing? No. Price-wise, it's also cheap, so it kind of works out. It's an EDT formulation. It projects decent for about 2 hours, but that's, again, maximum. And that's also, honestly, if you overspray a little. That being said, because the opening notes are so inoffensive and they're not cloying and they're kind of bitter, you can overspray pretty safely. And if you go someplace at 30 minutes afterwards, you're not going to be like filling a room or anything. So this makes it kind of office safe, although it's not going to last you all day and you might need to reapply. Our reminder, presentation, awesome. Love John Varvatos' style. Excellent. Very cool. I love getting their bottles. This is worth buying, in my opinion. I would buy it again. It has a purpose. It has longevity that's kind of low, has projection that's kind of low, but there's a use for that. Again, great gym scent, great shift work kind of scent, great I'm going out to lunch with friends and I want to smell nice but not spend a whole bunch of money on the fragrance. Perfect for that kind of occasion. But yeah, there you go, and thanks for watching.